Hello and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. We're a little late today because I've upgraded to Windows 11 by force of having a gun put to the back of my head. And thus I had issues with Discord because, well, of course, why wouldn't that be the case, right?
See, I'm not worth Papa Microsoft putting the gun to the head because I was already told like 6 years ago when 11 launched that my system can't handle Windows 11. So
I hear that there are ways to get around that, but you need to be a smart computer wizard or watch a YouTube video person to get that sorted.
honestly, I haven't got the patience for it. I'll just wait till I have to upgrade to a new computer completely. It's going to be easier.
Are you far? I guess if you can't run you can't. You can barely run. What do you call Darktide? So yeah, it sounds like you need to upgrade at some point in the future.
I mean, Darktide runs okay. Most of the issues I had with Darktide is due to my internet connection, not the game itself.
That's true. That doesn't help either. Greetings, Mr. White, and yes, Jubal. I did get the thing sorted. I just kept fiddling with settings until it basically submitted to me and opened its legs and took it. As it should, the dirty bitch. I don't know why. It's just I was a stupid. Hates it. We hates it. We do. We hates it. Jubal says, like a true computer technician, exactly. Just keep hitting it and eventually it'll work. You don't need to know what you're doing. The lamos.
It's the orcish way.
Yeah, I don't want to paint it red though. I don't trust myself. I think that would go.
Do you not want it to go faster?
I don't. No, I don't. Well, then what's the Bad Moon's philosophy? Because obviously the Gossip thing's red. So what's the Bad Moon's philosophy?
The Bad Moons are rich because yellow's the orc color for wealth. Because basically their teeth regrow quicker than any other orcs.
Oh, right, so that's what it is.
So they're always wealthy.
Right.
The Death Skulls are blue's lucky.
Okay.
Is their thing. And then the other ones out were blood axes and the snake bites.
Right?
Because snake bites were all, snake bite brown is version of because that's untanned leather.
Yeah.
And blood axes, I mean, technically commandos should have purple camo because purple's did stealthy.
They never did though. I remember the second edition models; they were always in red, like bright red.
In bright boiler red.
Yeah, yes. Bright boiler red, so they'd go faster, I guess.
I love those models. They're goofy as hell, but I just love that they were full on. Yes, we're cosplaying as World War II SAS commandos.
I like the Storm Boys because it makes people very uncomfortable and it makes me laugh.
I mean, I've always loved the idea that the Storm Boys are orcs in their rebellious phase, which is basically orcs who are very regimented and march in ranks and conduct formation drills and
which would make sense why they'd use SS uniforms, which they did just do away with, which makes sense, to be fair.
Yes, it's unfortunate. The thing is, at the time, the orcs did have a the thing is, the old Stelhelm was quite a popular element in counterculture, especially. The thing is, what people forget is that classic German style of helmet.
World War I helmet? You mean that one, or the World War II?
World War I, World War II helmet. It's the same basic design. It's actually been tested. It is actually the most effective helmet design you can make.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, for the last 70 years, every military you've seen with their helmets, those have been engineered within an inch of their lives to avoid replicating the Sturhelm in any way possible.
Even though it's really good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Because it's associated with the Nazis, it's really hard to pitch your army as the good guys if they suddenly rock up and they're looking awfully like 1930s France as the old Blitzkrieg rolls in.
Yeah, I always thought like the current American-styled army helmets looked too big. They look very large and silly.
I mean, effectively, that is because they have a Sturhelm inside it.
But they hide it underneath lots of stuff. Oh,
in fairness, funny. It's not just fair. Most militaries nowadays do something similar.
That's funny. It's sad, but funny.
It is. It is.
They should just put on gas masks. Just be Kriegs. That's all you need to do. Just be a member of the Krieg faction.
The Krieg are French, so.
Man,
despite their name,
you've ruined it. You've ruined the Krieg for me.
the Steel Legion, they're German.
I'm not going to say that I'd like them.
they are explicitly based on the old World War II German Blitzkrieg infantry. I can't remember what they're called. They had a specific name, but it's left my mind at the moment. But yeah, it's always been quite funny that people look at the Krieg or Askance and it's like, guys, there's a reason we had updated Steel Legion in 20 odd years. It's because they're the ones who are bloody.
Well, they only really do the Cadians, and they've just done, obviously, more recently, what they called guys with the shovels.
Oh, the Krieg.
The Krieg, yeah. Those are the only two they've really ever done. Because I'd like to see the British ones done, the very super British
ones. Praetorians.
Yeah, I'd love to see them done. Yeah, you could do all classic British heroes. Like you could make a sharp kind of guy. You could do a oh fuck, what's his name? Not Bob Hoskins. From Zulu.
Michael
Caine. Yeah, not Bob Hoskins at all. Michael Caine. You could have a little Michael Caine figure. That'd be great. I think that'd be really cool.
It's fun you say that because there's two. One, Victoria Minis. Not only does her line have those style uniforms with the pith helmets, she has one of the initial miniatures she released was Lieutenant Caine.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's Michael Caine from Zulu, just with a laser pistol and a power sword.
Baby boy Michael Caine, who's 3 years old in that movie.
Yeah, him and Stanley Baker.
Oh, they're so young.
They'd been in a film before that I hadn't realised, and which is just boggling. But
Mr. White says, "I'm imagining Bob Hoskins in Zulu." I'd like to see that.
Yeah,
I want to see Bob Hoskins and Danny DeVito in Zulu. Let's get the short angry men. We'll have Joe Pesci in there as well. I know he's not British, but I think that'd be fun. Short angry little men. That'd be great.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be a good movie. Mr. White says Bob Hoskins playing Mario in Zulu. Oh god, his famous role of Super Mario. I like the idea of that.
Is Mr. White just trying to get a Bob Hoskins who's really annoyed?
What do you mean? Mario was such a good movie. Why would he be annoyed by being in that film? So good. It's an amazing film. Yep.
I saw it at the cinema because I'm an idiot.
I remember seeing loads of advertisements for it in newsagents. Loads. It was on like the cover of every comic.
Oh, it was everywhere. It was on billboard, posters, buses. Yeah.
What was it, like 91, 92?
I think it was 93 because I came back from Hong Kong in 92. Yeah.
Okay. Because I couldn't remember it. Right. Because I remembered it, I could remember it, I was like, it has to be around the kind of that time period. Because I remember as well going into what was, it's a Tesco's Express now, but it used to be a Spar. Remember the Spar? It used to be Spar. And I remember like magazine covers that had Pinhead on. I don't know why, but I remember specifically seeing Pinhead and being like, that looks weird, and not really thinking about it, then getting a monster in my pocket because they were ace.
Well, this was the era where you'd find Dark Horse Comics with British-style anthology comic books of Aliens, Predator, and Terminator.
Really?
Great. Yeah.
Man.
And Manga Mania.
Man.
Which not only did it serialize in Akira.
Mm. Oh, the actual manga?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I picked it up, I think, around issue 20. There was still like another 20 issues to go with Akira.
I appreciate the movie, but man, it butchers the Akira story because it does how many volumes in one movie? Like all of it.
Well, the thing to remember is that the guy who directed Akira was the guy creating the manga as well.
Had he finished that at that point? I can't remember.
No. He was like a volume or two in at that point. Woo. So he probably was still sketching out where he wanted things to go. So it's no wonder the film is basically a greatest hits of the first 2 volumes.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. It's very pretty though, but it's it's
Oh,
it's a bit
absolutely.
of a mess, unfortunately.
It doesn't end in the most satisfying way, but
No,
it's a hell of a looker.
that's super pretty. Yeah. We should
Yeah.
probably get on to doing a poop cast though.
Oh, we probably should, shouldn't we?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play some music and we're gonna talk about some Transformers.
Hoo-yah.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Decayed Andy. We're with Mr. Big Swinging D, here to talk about some
Hey-o.
Transformers this week. Hey, Big D.
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to be doing RID 2015. I asked people to let me know. No one let me know, so we're doing this. We're doing this. Specifically, we're only going to be doing the Warrior class figures because the rest are like shitty gimmick things. A lot of shitty gimmick things.
The size classifications for ROD are just all over the place as well.
2015, in my eyes, is when Hasbro stopped making the cartoons for everybody, focusing on the kids, and the kids' toy line for that show is only for kids. It's much reduced.
Yeah.
In my eyes, it's kind of the downfall of the media side of Transformers, at least from a visual standpoint. Because none of the shows since Prime, I think, have ever really hit the heights, and the toy lines specifically for them have always been pretty lackluster. However, the Warrior figures are actually pretty good. I know because I picked them up and went, holy shit, these are actually really fun. And it's a shame because they needed more. A bit more love.
I think I've only got maybe 1 or 2 of these.
I've got most of them.
And
I went on a big binge because I picked up 1 or 2 and I went, damn, these are good. I'll need to pick up the rest. And I think I picked up pretty much every mold. And they're all good, mostly.
I think I only got Strong Arm in the end.
She's one of the weaker ones, to be fair.
I liked her, though, in fairness.
She's okay, but she's one of the weaker ones.
Yeah. I mean, the others... I know we'll get to Grimlock, but I quite fancied picking up they did a retool of Fall of Cybertron Grimlock in Japan.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I never got around to grabbing that.
That one's, I mean, it's the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, so it's kind of cheapo because it's that era with the cheapo stuff, but it's like, visually it kind of works at least. Oh, on a random side note, if you listen to us on YouTube or watch us on YouTube, you got us talking guff nonsense before the show, talking about news agents. I have been looking again, Big D, at eBay listings for White Dwarf issues from the early 200s.
Oh no!
I've thrown in a random bid. It's like there's like 11 issues. I can't remember what the numbers were, but the ones I used to have, and they was like, 33 for postage. I was like, no, 23 with postage. He'll probably say no, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I speak from experience of shipping out some comic lots to people internationally who didn't ask. I told them ahead of time I would have to check for prices, and they were like, "That's fine." I checked for prices, and then they said, "Can you make it any cheaper?" And I was like, "I can, but I take no responsibility for this item if it goes missing." They were like, "That's fine," and then they asked me, "Where's this lot gone?" I don't know. You said you're happy with it going untracked, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is like they already said what the shipping was, and it's in the UK, so it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, magazines are a pain in the ass to ship just because the weight stacks up so quickly.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising how much they can kind of wrap up to. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, fair enough. I guess it makes sense, but getting rid of 11 issues from their house, I'm sure they'd like that.
I mean, 11 issues for 33 quid postage. That's a bit much.
I thought so. That's why I was like, I'll 10 quid off.
I mean, I bought a full run of Battle Games in Middle Earth, and that only cost me like a tenner in postage.
Apparently, though, the era that I'm looking at is the more like sought after stuff. Unfortunately, apparently the 200s and the early 200 stuff is like the good stuff, which everybody wants.
But that's like peak fat dwarf era, fat bloke era, white dwarf right there.
Yeah, it's great. That was my era. It had all the good stuff in. Like, it literally, one of the covers is the Gorka Morka issue, which I had. One of the issues is the one where you got the free Dark Eldar mini.
Yep.
Obviously, the Dark Eldar mini is not included, but it's not the point. So I was like, well, we'll see. Hopefully, I'll be able to get it.
I think I still have almost. I should have most of that collection around here somewhere. White Dwarf.
What? Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I
more than likely in the pile.
I mean, I only ever chopped up like stuff around the 150s when I was first getting into it because I was buying stuff to use in Space Crusade and Hero Quest.
Okay.
Everything else I tended to leave because I know I've got some of the card inserts I found for a load of Hero Quest because I have a bunch of Hero Quest, not Heroes, Warhammer Quest and Space Hulk tiles.
Oh, you should give those Warhammer Quest ones to Gruff.
He can pry those out of my cold dead hand. They're fused with my Warhammer Quest collection. Thank you very much.
Do you have a Warhammer Quest?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think you did. I knew you had some of the minis. I just didn't know like if you had like the actual board game.
I've had it for like 20 odd years.
Ah, all right, fair enough.
In fact, it's the reason I got back into the hobby properly because I wanted to try and gussy it up. I was going to try and. So I went looking for new minis to modern minis to replace all the heroes.
Ooh, heresy.
I didn't do too badly. I found some. It's what put me onto some of the third-party model makers I still frequent to this day.
I mean, you've got Perfection. Why would you need to change Perfection?
Well, partly it's because most of the minis are actually missing from it.
See, that's a different thing. You didn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, the only hero I still have, plastic hero, is for Barbarian, and even him, I've replaced his sword. And of the beasties, I think it's literally only the swarms are still original. Everything else, I think, I'm not sure where it all went, but I've got all the archers and the board tiles and all the books and all the tokens and all the warriors.
Yeah.
But that's one of my long-term goals. I'd love to try and update with fresh minis because GW ain't going to do it.
Oh, no, fuck no. They don't care. But Transformers, let's start off with Bumblebee, the quote-unquote lead character of this sequel, very big quotations to Transformers Prime.
Our idea was a very odd show.
It was bad. It was very bad. Very bad and silly. They if they wanted to undermine Prime, they did a fantastic job of undermining his character and making him dog shit. It was a mess.
Yeah.
I got through, I saw the Megatronus stuff and saw a little bit after that and went, I'm not watching anymore, I'm done. I will say the designs took a bit of time to get used to, and as long as you don't, well, for me, as long as I don't see them as Prime successors, I think they're quite an interesting look. I think they're not bad. They're kind of this weird mix between Transformers Prime and animated-ish.
I think that's what does its most harm, but it is trying to straddle that middle ground of taking the Prime aesthetic and running it through a filter to become this much more
friendly.
Prime was trying,
kitty.
Yeah, and honestly, the animation in RAD compared to, I mean, clearly RAD was running on a much smaller budget, than Prime was.
Definitely,
and it sadly shows. I think the team behind it do get credit for. You can tell they were trying in places real hard to make it stretch as much as they could, but it couldn't really sustain, and it didn't really work.
No, you can't go from the Dark Crystal to the Teletubbies in terms of tone. It doesn't work. Now that's a little bit of a hyperbolic statement, but the sentiment is still there, if you understand what it is.
Yeah, and it's a shame because there is narrative meat to be carved off the bone of having B being the veteran taking on a leadership role for the first
that's
time.
not a bad idea.
Leading a team of rookies.
Yeah.
That's actually a really interesting idea.
Yeah, and it's kind of what they sort of half-assed attempted to set up at the end of Prime, or Prime in general. They did a really shitty version because they kind of kept dripping it between him and not Drift. Smokescreen. They kept kind of dancing between the two of them, kind of fulfilling that role, and never landed on it.
Well, Smokescreen was just them realizing that having Bumblebee not talk is a real problem if you're trying to make a serialized show.
Whom could have foreseen?
Yeah.
Whom could have foreseen? I think that was more the obviously the Hasbro must be like the movies, which was a very silly year.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
But the actual Bumblebee figure itself is. Have you had this one? Is this one of the ones you've touched?
I haven't. Sadly, I only ever owned Strong Arm out of RID's Warrior line.
Okay, B's a pretty good one. Articulation. It's not bad. Obviously, he could do with ankle tilts. He has a waist joint. He's got a ball jointed head. He's got a bicep swivel, elbow joint, which are about 90. He's got as much articulation really as you'd really need for like a kid's toy. It's not hampered. Yeah. It's just like, this is good enough, but he's not going to be doing the craziest dynamic poses. They've decided to go with the slightly open hands thing. If you remember us talking about in the movie line stuff, I think these open hands don't look nearly as weird and creepy as the movie versions of them.
They don't. These as a rule tended to work a lot better, I felt, just from a visual point of view.
They do look a little bit more like hands. They're obviously still kind of thin, still look a little bit odd, but compared to what we were getting with the older movie figures, I think these obviously look a lot better, personally.
Yeah.
What I didn't like is the big Autobot insignia thing, because that was meant to be read by phones.
Yes.
I can't remember what it did on the phones, but it did something.
Oh, it took you to a website which I think brought up some fact. It either took you to a site where you could play like a flash game.
All right.
Or it took you to a site that had
the text
additional
back, right?
And maybe some downloadable wallpapers and stuff. Yeah. But I can't remember which, to be fair. It was weird.
You can kind of see what they're trying to do, because they're in that attempt of making kids play with toys but also have them still connected to their phones, which isn't a great idea. Kids shouldn't have mobile phones, in my opinion. There's no need for them. But that's the world this came into. The actual transformation, he transforms into a pretty nice solid car, which is very close to the Bumblebee Prime car. The robot mode, an issue obviously is the top of the car mode is on the back of his legs and rides up quite high, kind of goes up to his butt. It's a little bit on the tall side, to be honest, but the car mode is nice. It does have the issue of yellow paint on translucent blue, and there's obviously a clear, distinct difference between the yellow, which is a little bit rough.
Yeah.
But
and of course, because I was just going to say, and of course, because it's translucent, you can see bits of the robot mode, including this bloody chest underneath the...
Yes. Yeah, it does come through. Yeah. But generally, it's a good, solid little car. It's not too faffy to transform. You can because you can see where his chest is, you have a pretty good idea where everything is and how everything goes. The arms just kind of tighten up. The legs just kind of, they don't really fold. They just kind of, you peg them together and you just flip up that the top of the car over the chest. It's a reasonably quick little transformation again, which is like, oh, well, that's, again, for a kid's toy line, it's not too bad. You're not going to be arsing around, but it doesn't feel like you're being gypped with a 3-step changer where you're getting a mostly hollowed toy.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, speaking from my experience with Strong Arm, I know, as we were talking earlier, you said that having had more of She's one for weaker figures, but from my experience, she was a decently sized, fairly sturdy feeling figure compared to what you could find in other bits of the franchise at that point. So yeah, I mean, And the thing is, this is a kids one, so you do want figures that work as toys and do have a bit of sturdiness to them.
Yes.
And simplicity can help with that a lot. So
yeah,
fair
definitely.
play to them.
Something that Hasbro is, I don't know, I'm not sure if they're great at these days because they're so desperate to try and do the adult collector stuff rather than anything else. B comes with a Matrix blade, Matrix sword. I can't remember exactly what it was from the show, and it's fine. It's a translucent sword. It looks very similar to many Star Sabers that we see today. It kind of looks similar to the sword that Primer Prime comes with.
Yeah, it does. Actually, it does. I'm actually looking at my Primer Prime now. It's like, yes, but it's a very similar looking sword. Yeah, that's spookily similar looking.
But obviously, because it doesn't need to have an actual matrix in, this sword's a little bit better proportionally, rather than Primer Prime's, which has the gigantic handle on the bottom, for obvious reasons.
And it's a nice implementation. I was going to say implication.
Oh, yeah, no.
Implementation of the gimmick from the show where they didn't they had almost no guns. They were all using melee stuff to try and capture people. So
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's weird that they had like a sword to brutally hack someone apart rather than a gun. Bizarre.
Yeah.
You don't worry about these things. Now, what you could say about this version of B is he wasn't desperately accurate color-wise, and this is the same for all of the figures. Japan was in the age of, well, we'll just do the color scheme better, and they did. They used a much richer orange on yellow on him. And I'm not sure if there's anything else. They got the blue rims on the wheels.
Blue rims. There's detailing along the side of the car.
Yeah, that's right.
There's the orange indicators.
Yep.
They've been painted in. Just little stuff that makes all the difference. Makes, like you said, it's not a bad figure for Western one, but the pain is where you can see the indicators are actually molded in. They've just not been painted.
Mm-hmm. And that's obviously again lack of budget, I presume.
But then, like you say, you go to Japan, and they just added that little bit extra. A spot of orange and the black along the sides, which we don't know what the budgets were like from Japan Takara's side, how they were working things out, but it makes a difference. And I know these were always the ones that people wanted.
Like I say, I don't know if it's true, but from the images, like I say, it does look like the yellow plastic is better than the American yellow plastic.
Oh, yes.
But that just could be the photography.
That's also true, yeah.
It's always kind of hard to tell. There were other recolors of this. There was the Clash of the Transformers Bumblebee. There was also Night Ops Bumblebee, and there was also Night Strike Bumblebee, because Bumblebee was the main character, so you got to milk him. So the first Bumblebee is the first one that I mentioned, the Clash one, where they've not really improved it, I would say, but they've added more baby blue.
Yeah.
And silver.
I'm not sure what they were going for there, but okay.
I think this was one of the quote-unquote armored up states that they had in the show. You know, when they get random powers up?
Yeah.
I think it's that, but I don't know.
I think you could be right on that score. I can imagine that being the logic they've used. Yeah.
And I'm guessing the idea behind it was in, like, previous Japanese shows, when they got a power-up, they got a completely new paint job, which was a better idea. I think what they wanted to do here was keep it so that it still looked like Bumblebee, so he's still yellow, but he also has different colors on him to show that he's powered up. I would have said the better idea is to just make him a completely new color, so it's consistent.
Because someone's color theory failed them here quite badly.
Yeah, this is... I'm not sure if... I don't think it's a... Yeah, I think this is worse than... Do you remember the first movie line with the Allspark power stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I think this is worse than that. Because I don't think... I can't remember offhand if they ever went and did it this badly, you know?
No, I mean, Allspark power was mostly around joints or internals. So it was... Although it was a bright blue, it normally was in places that made sense. And you didn't have it... Most of them you couldn't even tell in the alt modes.
No.
It was the very rare rot mode where it was poking out, whereas this, they've just dumped it all over B's hood.
And it is weird how, have you noticed that in the vehicle mode, they haven't fully painted the roof of the car?
Oh yeah, that's really bad.
Yeah, they fully
then,
painted the front of the car, so that's complete matte black. They've painted the windows on the side of the car, so they're completely matte black. But then they've got this line from the back window screen over the top, like a bizarre half sunroof.
Oh, that's weird. They painted translucent plastic.
Yeah.
And they've painted it black, and they painted it yellow.
Yeah.
Whereas if they just cast those pieces in yellow and painted black over the top, it probably would have been a lot better.
You would have thought so.
Oh, and it would have given a bit more consistency as well, because I don't know if it would, because that it's weird. The blue on the bits of the translucent actually feels a bit richer than, because the blue that they painted on the front of the hood and front of the translucent sections it just feels more washed out than that blue at the back.
Yeah.
In front of the windscreen. That's so weird.
Yeah, so not even the blue kind of matches to each other. It's odd. If you look at the car mode, Big D, and you see the blue bits on the front of the car, right? Imagine you painted eyes on the black parts. And it would look like Bumblebee's crying. Another thing, obviously, to mention is the front of the car mode has no black on it at all. So it looks like an unfinished Warhammer model where you've got the base coat on, but you haven't finished it off.
And again, for certain things, that there is sculpted detail on the car. I've already mentioned the indicators have been sculpted, but there is other detailing you got that they just haven't touched.
Yeah, again, no money, because all of it's gone to, I guess, like painting his chest with the blues and the extra silver bits, but it's just made him a mess, unfortunately. It's not good. It's really bad. Mr. White says it almost reminds me of a prototype where they use panels of random unpainted material. Yeah, very much like that.
Yeah.
It looks like he's been in an aquarium inside of him, or has an aquarium inside of him. Yeah, that's the kind of translucent blue that they use versus the baby blue on him. So this one's not a good one. So what's up next?
The kicker is that black for the windows actually works really nicely.
It does.
On this, yeah,
it's much better. The next B is much better.
Oh yes.
Which is, what if we invert the colors? So we invert the yellow to black and the black to yellow. That's the color scheme, and it's like, yep, that works.
Yeah, it's B cosplaying as the Batmobile this time.
Yeah, the car mode looks really good. I really like the mostly black car, and I don't think you see yellow wheels on Transformers often.
No, it's an odd choice. I'm not sure if I'd have preferred if they'd kept those black or not, but I don't know. The yellow has charm.
It reminds me of Hot Wheels toys.
Yes.
And not in like a denigrating way, but in a better way. Because he's mostly black, most of the parts that you would be like, oh, being flat yellow and being flat black, and obviously two very different things, and flat black usually looks a lot nicer. I think this one's obviously much better looking. It's an easy. This is the one you should have used for your power up form, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, ever since they got it in their mind that to do an inverted Bumblebee, so invert the yellow and the black, and I don't think any of their attempts at doing that, just in pure terms of the deco, irrespective of the quality of the figure itself, the deco has always been one that just kills it every time.
I'd like to see the Studio Series kind of inverted. That'd be kind of interesting. That'd be nice. Then you add like flame paint on him and give him a skull head. Legion of the Damned Bumblebee.
Sorry, I'm now imagining a Studio Series 86 Bumblebee with inverted colours for little.
Yeah, that's the one I mean.
a penny racer in
Yeah.
black with yellow highlights. Actually, yeah.
With fire paint jobs, and he has a gun with a skull on it. Wouldn't that be sick? It'd be so stupid.
Yeah.
People would buy it. Exelhead says, "Is this
Absolutely.
supposed to be the armor he got fighting Megatron?" Probably. I don't remember. But that's probably the case.
We'll just nod and say yes, because I don't think I even got as far as Megatronus with RAD.
Yeah, that was the end of season 1, so I don't blame you.
It was too difficult to actually watch it over here. I could never work out because we've never paid for the kids channels, not until my niece and nephew started coming around reasonably regularly. So
I can't remember how I watched it. It wasn't through normal means, let's put it that way. I just can't remember how I watched it, but I did watch at least up to the end of that season. Oh well, it's not important, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
And then the last Bumblebee is Bumblebee. But what if his trousers were blue? What if random bits of him were blue? I don't know what this is meant to be either.
No, I mean, if you combine this with the other one with blue detailing. So swap this one's torso for that one's torso and kept this one's arms and legs and the hip assembly. That I think works.
Maybe?
Because then you just have a lot more blue. But I mean, I think I like the alt mode deco. But the offset black stripe, and they've actually put detailing along the side, that works.
It does have a little bit of an issue here and there. Is it translucent? Yeah, I think it is translucent plastic they've still used for the roof, but they've painted over it.
Oh,
it's odd. And there's no black detailing on the front of the car either, so it still looks like it's slightly off. But I like you, I like the flame effects on the side of the car. That's cool. I appreciate that. But man, I don't know if it's, again, the way that the photo's been taken, but the yellow paint on the translucent plastic is way more obvious than on the original figure.
I think they've used a yellow plastic that's a slightly darker shade as well, compared to the base version of this world.
You might be right. Again, it's hard to tell photos, right? And I know I don't have this one, because this looked ugly compared to... Again, it's because it's like still mostly Bumblebee colors. Why would you get it? Just get the normal Bumblebee. He doesn't have any of this weird fucking blue on him.
I just want to find out why, if you're going to paint an entire section of the whole translucent piece of the figure, why would you not just cast that in regular plastic instead?
Maybe it's a factory thing that we just don't know about.
Maybe
they're like, oh, you have to, the mold has to have that kind of plastic in it. I can't imagine it would, but again, I don't work in a factory and I don't work with injecting molding, so I wouldn't know for sure. Especially in 2015. Yeah, this one's a loser Bumblebee as well, I would say. I don't think this one's good at all.
I think that previous one, the inverted colors, is the real winner of these.
Oh, definitely.
To my mind. That just it shows the mold off. It shows off the strengths of the mold and hides the weaknesses very, very well.
However, Big D, that's not all. Because there were two other ones that I had to find. So there is the Bumblebee Supreme mode, which is Bumblebee is a redeco / retool of the Warrior Bumblebee based on its appearance in the finale. Oh, so this is the way that he looked in the finale, where he had like the extra like armor on his face and a few extra bits of molding around him and a bit of a different color scheme on him, but it's mostly the same. I forgot to send you these ones, Big D, but yeah, you can.
That's all right.
Do you want me to send you this one? Or dude?
No, I can see. I actually quite like that.
It's not bad. I don't know. I like the extra gray. The gray's a bit. It's a bit washed out. It's not an interesting kind of gray color. It's just kind of bland. But the extra bits of armor and translucent blue bits, that's kind of nice. That's kind of neat.
You know what? I'd like to see this against a different background, because I think the white isn't helping.
No.
In fairness.
No, I would agree.
But I mean, look, you got much more paint on the front of the car.
Yeah.
borders for the headlights, indicators all painted in.
Yeah.
You've got deco going right up to the windscreen. Still translucent, but just from the pictures, it looks like there's a better color match between the paint and the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
There's some deco along the side of the car. Blue on the rims. You got that spear is actually kind of funky. I dig that.
It's a weird look, and I don't know exactly how it goes into the hand.
I think it might split.
I hope so, because I hope you don't just kind of awkwardly force it in, because that would be rough. You're probably right. It probably has to split, but offhand, I don't know. It's a nice looking spear, though. Looks interesting.
I do like for how much deco they've put on Bumblebee's head, because I can see blue and grey and black and silver and white in there and yellow. That's a lot. That's a lot of paint, especially to see it.
Doesn't it make the previous 2 yellow Bumblebee repaints like really disappointing compared to this? Like, I might not love the extra grey bits on, but a lot more work has been put into this one than for those 2. A lot more.
Absolutely.
So yeah, this is definitely an upgrade. And then there's also I think it's not even that fancy of a do. It's called Black Knight Bumblebee, which is Black Knight Bumblebee is yet another black repaint of the original figure. It's not the same as Night Ops Bumblebee, and it was an exclusive to stores for the Cybertron Satellite campaign. So I think Japanese. So you can see he comes with his blade. It's been done in red plastic, translucent plastic. That's cool. This one's not just the color, but inverted. He has a lot more black paint on him, and the yellow's done as kind of a nice highlight.
Oh, that's quite nice.
It is, yeah. I think it is better than the Night Ops Bumblebee. Just has a more like cohesive look. Yeah, it's still just a black Bumblebee. If you had the Night Ops one, you probably wouldn't want this one. If you had the choice, I'd get this one personally.
Yeah, I mean, I'd either go for this one or that Supreme. Although I did just try and do a search of the Supreme Bumblebee, and the only hit I had was in the States and wanted $150 plus postage.
Fuck off. No.
Not even sealed.
No.
That's used.
To be fair, there were some RID figures which did get very expensive, which I was fuck off, no.
Some of them did get a wee bit silly.
At least now on eBay, which I didn't quite understand. So we did that. We've now got Young Drift, who's not the Drift that we're used to, at least at the time, because we were used to IDW Drift, but this was still a Samurai Drift, so one could say this was very similar to the Age of Extinction one, I suppose. Not one of the better ones. I didn't really love this one, to be fair.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to be singing this song a lot. He's a bit lacking in the paint department, because that face, there's a lot of detail there, but just the fact the moustache and the beard aren't painted it's
disappointing. Bad. Yeah, it's definitely disappointing. He's got very big, like I would describe them as Pingu feet. If you're aware of clay animation Pingu. You can see what they're going for. They're going for the Japanese samurai kind of foot design. It's that kind of like what's it, like pinched toe or whatever you want to call it, where the sock kind of rides up in your big toe.
Yeah, kind of sandals with a covering underneath to cover your feet. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
I mean, this was pretty much Age of Extinction era, so they've shifted Drift much more into this obvious samurai pastiche.
Yes.
And I mean, as much as it's a cliched look, I mean, they have at least put the effort in to try and put the details in. So you got the side skirts mimicking the Kama. The head does have the detailing of a samurai helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly more than you'd like, but it's there.
Yeah.
So fair play to them. It just looks a bit off somehow.
I don't remember him being great in hand, like compared to some of the other ones. Like he doesn't feel bad, but he just feels.
Yeah.
Again, he feels a bit like the strong arm figure. It's just like, it's okay. It's one of the okay-ish ones where you're like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I do appreciate that he does come with his katana and his what's it called, a wakizashi, the smaller katana blade, whatever that one's called, and you do have places where you can like house them on the side of the skirts. That's kind of nice. That's not too bad. The arms elbow joint, because of the, again, it's hard to describe what it is. It's just a little hinge. It doesn't feel like as nice and robust as some of the other ones, and his chest is quite flat, because if you look at the bit below his head, that is how the chest kind of pegs in. So it's one big flat orange piece.
Ooh.
So it doesn't look too bad in the photo, but it's not as nice in person, if you know what I mean.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just not as good.
Yeah.
And the car mode, again, yeah. Oh, you can see where his chest is better in the car mode, can't you? That's why it's just a flat blob. The car's a weird shape. It's kind of an interesting looking car mode.
Yeah, I mean, it's but again, because of Age Extinction, in that Drift was a Bugatti Veyron. This is riffing on the Veyron, just
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've just made the front much more henge.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I feel car go boom.
Basically, you know, you see the two black bits at either side of the bonnet.
Yes.
Yeah, if the orange bits were in enough to cover those black pieces, that would look much more like a Bugatti Veyron of the period.
Mr. White says, is a bit of a Fifth Element hover car. Kinda. I could kind of see that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got that a bit of shame where they've tried to paint orange and it's just not as vibrant as the other pieces.
No,
it's a small piece, but it stands out.
Yeah, it's again, it just falls into the kind of area. Let's just check to see what drift. Do they have the other drifts here? No, they don't.
They got the event, the Japanese one, which is quite nice actually.
I'll just
much
head
more
to the site. There are a few other versions. Yes, there's the Japanese one, which is much better painted. Way better painted.
Much more screen accurate as well, because Drift was much more this shade of orange in the show.
Bumblebee, you could see a few bits of an update from the Japanese one to the American one. The Japanese Drift is far superior to the American one.
It's a nicer shade of orange, much more detailing.
Loads. He's got bits on his knees. Yeah. He's got bits on the lower parts of his foot. Then he's got the red bits on top of his feet. He's got a much more distinct red stripe on the side of his door arm. The side skirts have black lines around them for highlighting. There's bits of blue on the under the boobs to make them look like the front of the car. The beard and the goatee are painted. There is a black line around the edge of those as well. The head crest is painted red, so it's very Gundam-y. There's more black on the shoulders as well. It's just much more interesting to look at. Much better.
Also for quality of the paint as well. It's much more crisp and opaque than the paint that was used on the American version.
You might be shocked to hear, Big D, but there are a lot of repro labels for these figures. For the American ones.
Shocked to hear that.
Yes, you should be shocked.
Yeah.
Obviously, you prefer to have the painted version because you don't need to faff around with stickers as well.
Yeah. And the alt mode just looks nicer as well. You haven't got that. You can still tell a slight difference in the tone of the orange on where they painted over black.
Yeah.
As opposed to casting orange, but it's nowhere near as noticeable.
No,
and there's 100%. Just because there's that extra level of detail. So you've got that yellow banding around the radiator grille. They've painted the lights. That red band that was on the arms is translated across to the door because that's where it is.
Yep.
And I know they kind of serve two different masks because these were priced slightly more premium compared to the Western ones, but man, These just look so good.
Something you can notice here, but I can't remember if it is the case for the American version. The wheels are translucent.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if the American wheels are translucent, but for some reason they are translucent for the Japanese version.
Looking at the photograph they've used for the American one, I do believe they are translucent as well.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah.
There's a little bit of see-through there, so yeah, I think that they are a dark smoky grey.
Yeah, this massive departure between these two. So the Japanese one, obviously much higher priced, but it just looks like the figure you want versus the half-ass version. And welcome, Rodimus Power Toy Collector. We also have two other versions of Drift. We have the Snow Strike Drift, which is I think this was one of his powered up forms, which is Drift, but what if blue? Lots of blue.
Of course.
Yeah, baby blue and like a dark blue. Obviously, this is not the image of the toy. I think these are CG renders of the toy, but you still get the basic idea of what he's meant to look like. What do you think of this one? Do you like this one?
He's cosplaying as Blur.
Do you think... Yes, that's a good point. Do you think this looks nicer than the first the first figure? Because I think it looks like it's got more paint on it.
I think it does as well, yeah. I mean, for one thing, okay, as much as the AoE version of Drift is a dangerous caricature, this at least feels much more in line with that in terms of you can tell that they're supposed to be the same character or the same take on the character.
Kind of, yeah, it's a bit closer.
So I do dig that. I dig the detailing that kind of reminds me of the kanji that was all over the original Drift.
Do you mean the random white line things that don't seem to be anything? Yeah, they look nice. It might be. Should they have been kanji? No, maybe not. Because because he's not meant to be. He's not. It wasn't in Japan. Maybe that should have been, instead of random lines. Maybe that should have been like an ice effect. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, he's meant to be Blizzard Drift.
I do like this deco though. It is quite nice.
Yeah, I appreciate that it just has more paint. At the very least. Then there was the says Candy Crane Drift, or the Alpine Sprite Drift, which is Drift in Drift's IDW colors. So this is the Drift that you're more used to seeing. Kind of.
I think I've seen a picture. I'm sure I've seen pictures of this before somewhere.
And again, this one's better, I think, again, than the original one, but it is missing off the paint on the face. Like, they haven't painted the goatee and the mustache, so that's still just white, which is kind of a shame. I like this. I think this was generally a good color scheme for Drift, so it's kind of nice to have it again. Oh, God, I forgot how much of the fucking top of the car just hangs off the back of his legs. You can see it here. But yes, I completely forgot how much. That's an issue with the figure, because he has no heel spur. His heel spur is the back of his roof for the car.
Which is translucent.
Yes. It's not too big of an issue because he's not a heavy figure, but it's not a good heel spur. You shouldn't have a heel spur relying on a gigantic lump of translucent plastic that hangs off the back of the leg. So there's a negative, which is probably another reason why I didn't like it too much.
Tell you what is quite nice. The sword blades are a different color to the hilts.
Yes, they actually.
It's a little thing, but
it's nice. Yeah. XL says Prime had, I think he meant Prime had to teach them camouflage, snow camo, deco camo. It's an excuse to sell toys. That's all it was. Stupid. Let me teach you how to blend into your scenery. You see white, color yourself to be white, and you'll blend in. Ooh. So smart, Prime.
Ignore the fact that you turn into a £1 million hypercar.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about that. But yeah, what do you think of this Drift, the Candy Cane Drift?
I appreciate the fact it's a nice callback to classic Drift.
Weird to say classic Drift, isn't it?
That's...
Because he wouldn't have been that much older. Like, this is 2016 figure, and that Drift had to have been 2010, 11, 12,
something like that.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh
god.
man,
Oh. Sorry, I
yeah.
interrupted you.
Ah. No, I do like it. It is a shame that it's not got as much detail around a face, given that it is otherwise mainly white with a little bit of red attached to it.
Yeah.
I think my preferred one is the Adventures.
The Japanese.
just
Oh, I
basic,
mean,
basic
man,
drift, but
that's so much
but-
better.
that Blizzard one is a real nice deco in itself.
You might be able to find that one a little bit easier because it is the weird kind of colored one. That might be an easier one to grab. That's the Driftos, Young Drift. Now we have one that I really like, Fracture. Fracture, who turns into a cool motorbike. Actually, a pretty successful motorbike as well.
Yeah.
Fracture's really fun. For some reason, though, look at the robot mode for TFU. What haven't they done? I want to see if you pick out what they haven't transformed on this figure. Because it's annoying when you see it. He's looking. He's playing Where's Waldo. You'll be annoyed when I tell you.
Tell me. My brain's gone toffee, so just tell me.
What do you hold things with?
Oh, hands have been folded out.
Nope. They haven't folded out his fucking hands for some reason.
Oh, that's funny. I
don't know why, because that is a bizarre step to not do for transforming. Yeah. He has very, like, if I remember correctly, he has very long fingers. So I think that looks quite weird on him. But generally, this has a pretty solid look to him. And he transforms into a really sick motorbike. He transforms and tidies up and tucks away quite nicely. Because you can see that, like, in the bike mode, everything's kind of compressed down into the back of the bike.
Yeah, that is a spectacularly successful bike mode.
Yeah, it's really nice. And he comes with a pretty cool weapon as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of you're meant to be able to use it as a gun or as a, like, bludgeon device thingy. But again, it's a pretty nice little weapon, to be honest.
Absolutely.
I'm
that looks the part.
Big fan, actually.
Yeah.
Can I find the Can we do it? Is it better? I don't think he got a repaint, though. No, he did get an Adventures version. Which isn't too different, to be fair. Oh, this image actually has his hands out, so that'll give you a better idea. But this is one of the ones from Japan where there are a few bits, like on his toes, and a bit more like painted detail around his stomach area. But it's not like as significant as the Drift figures upgrade. And again, he's fairly posable. He's got elbow joints, arms, all that kind of stuff. I don't think he has a waist offhand. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've finagled with him. He's got a kickstand, so in bike mode he can still stand up, I suppose. For some reason, the weapon has a joint in it, so you can fold it up a little bit to store it in bike mode. Kind of irrelevant a little bit, but I guess they had a little bit extra budget for him. He's a lot of fun. He's very quick to transform. He's posable enough. I like good bike transformers. You know who he reminds me of a little bit? He reminds me a little bit of Oil Slick, who's another solid like bike former.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you can, this is one of the ones I'd recommend. But try not to get mixed up between that one and the
deployer version.
Sometimes the deployers, like, he looks similar, but he's bigger, and I don't think he's meant to be as good. He doesn't look as good, at least to me personally.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, and remember, if you get him, Big D, to transform his hands. Transform his hands. But yeah, I like this one a lot. Do you have anything on Fracture?
No, I dig him as well. That's a really nice figure. I'm genuinely surprised, but I hadn't realised he was that good. I'd only ever really seen the Deployers version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I want to throw out like maybe a negative, I think he looks like paint scheme wise like a background character because he is primarily just purple.
Oh yeah. His color scheme gives off prime goon energy.
Yeah, very much so. I think he could have done with a bit more of an interesting twist on his design. I think that would have been quite nice, but he didn't get it. There are a couple of like deployers who don't get like warrior figures either, which is kind of a bummer. I thought would have been kind of neat, but never mind. We have like our only non warrior figure that I threw in here, which is Fix It, who's I think a Legends figure, and I threw in Fix It because this is the only way you can get Fix It. Some figures, if you wanted this character or characters, the only way to get them sometimes were in Legend scale or Legion scale. So Fix It in robot mode looks like he should. I never liked Fix It, and he turns into nothing. Nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
He kind of falls forward and turns into wheels with 2 drills in the front of it.
Yeah, Fix It feels like someone looked at Wheelie and thought, how can we make him more annoying?
He's got a lot of, I don't know who came first, but he's got a lot of Rung vibes from IDW, who also turned into fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And he's orange. They both got kind of the glasses look to their face.
True.
Yeah, I don't know. Fix It is not great. I've not got much to say about him apart from he's lame.
Harsh but fair, sadly.
Yeah. Just throw him in there. Grimlock, a figure that you thought looked not too bad. I don't know if I have Grimlock. No, I think I do. I'm not sure. If I do have him, he's clearly not left an impression in my brain.
Yeah.
But you can see like the way that I don't think he's meant to be great because if you look at his legs, he doesn't actually have like full completed legs.
They're not great legs, are they?
The way to describe it for people who haven't seen it is like below the knee. If you like cut vertically your leg in half, the back, the inside is meant to be kind of supplemented by his tail, but it doesn't look like it kind of meshes in with the rest of the design.
Yeah, which is interesting because Grimlock's actually one of the ones I actually liked what they tried to do with this take on the character.
I didn't like the character. What did you like about the character? Because to me, he felt like a weird bulkhead animated Prime kind of clone.
Yeah, I mean he was basically the bulkhead of the show. So on the one hand, they were repurposing Grimlock's name again. It's one of those instances where the fact of it being a Prime sequel probably hurt it more than it helped. Because if it hadn't been a Prime spin-off, there wouldn't have been quite as many comparisons. But the fact he's also got that green, same as Bulkhead as well. That's no good.
Like, I honestly, get why they chose green, because they like if you look at the main cast, it's all the primary colors. They wanted one color for every. Bumblebee's yellow. Yeah. Strong Arm's blue. Sideswipe's red. Grimlock's green. You know, so they wanted to be very visually obvious for kids because kids are stupid. I suppose.
Yeah. On reflection, maybe not as great as I remember.
I think the dinosaur mode is quite nice. It's not too terrible. I don't remember. Again, like I say, I don't remember much about it. If I do have it or not, I can't say how good it is. Let's check.
I think the biggest knock is the fact that because this is a warrior scale figure, he just not puts him out of scale with everyone else because he's supposed to be much bigger than them.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue with the line as well. There's only deluxes, and some of the characters really deserved bigger figures to them.
Yes.
The Japanese version, what did it provide? It provided a much more vibrant green. Again, I'd say this was closer to how he was meant to look, because they got a little blob of orange on the top of his head. It looks like they've tried to paint in some eyebrows as well, somewhat, which is kind of nice that they attempted to do so. And again, overall, the green is more poppy. It's moot green versus Caliban green. Which, I don't know why they went with a Caliban kind of dark green for him, because I don't think he was that dark in the show color-wise.
No, he's much more this sort of poppy green.
Yeah, I think so, at
Overall.
least. It feels like it. XL Head says, much rather have Fix-It stuttering over Wheelie's high-pitched rhyming. In terms of character, sure. And at least Fix-It was consistent, because I've rewatched a bit of Season 3 recently, and for some reason, Wheelie's voice changes. Sometimes he's got the voice modulation on. In a few episodes, he doesn't. Sometimes it's clearly a different person doing Wheelie's voices. It's weird. Season 3, what a fucking mess. But the Grimlock, again, kind of meh. But there was also, because there is Grimlock, what if we do another Grimlock? A G1 Grimlock. And they actually did very slightly remold the head.
I was quite
basically,
surprised by that.
It almost feels like they got Milliput and just spread it over the face.
Yeah.
And they went, well, we'll get rid of his mouth and we'll just keep him with eyes and have a big, almost Grimlock faceplate, sort of.
Oh, no, this is interesting because I'm actually looking at the figure on TFU, which I think might be the American version of this deco. And the American version, they've used a much more an orange that leans more towards the bronze tones.
I think that's the right version. I don't think he looks this orange. Oh, sorry, yellow. Yellow, not the same color as gold. Stock photography, not final product. So this one's a stock version, and the gold kind of toffee kind of color is the finalized version. So this is what it actually looks like. I think the yellow might be better. I don't know. Would you prefer the yellow? Do you prefer this kind of toffee, orangey, browny color?
I think I prefer the toffee brown, to be fair.
What do you like about it? Do you think is it the contrast?
I think so. The fact that it better mimics, alongside the grey, I think it works better than that bright yellow they tried. This feels like it makes that grey. It provides better contrast, I think, without overpowering things.
Okay.
But overall, I do dig that. It's not as the basic deco has more detailing to it. This is just solid blocks of color.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate the detail on that one, but this one, as a shout out to G1 Grimlock, because it's Grimlock, so inevitably he will get a G1 color scheme at some point.
Yeah.
Because it's Grimlock. I think this is quite cute and fun. Yeah.
I will say I agree with you. I think it's a negative though in terms of the dinosaur mode, and it's primarily because I feel a lot of the head details being washed out because of the gray plastic, and I think it might have popped a little bit more if they'd painted the lower jaw black or toffee colored as well.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
because was Grimlock
or even if they just painted the T.
They painted like they've got like this gray stripe on the original Grimlock, just above his mouth, and then the lower half is gray. Green. If they'd done something like that for this Grimlock as well, again it would help make the head pop. But it feels like a lot of the where is the color at? Where's the paint on this figure? It feels like there's no paint on him compared to the previous figure.
Yeah, I was going to say I think the budget for this one went on the bit of Milliput they slapped on his head.
Feels like, yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe the price point was like, we can either give him more paint or we can give him a new head, and then we'll give him a new head.
Yeah, honestly, this whole line is kind of sadly a bit of an indictment of Hasbro's attitude towards the kids
line.
they're trying to sell these to.
Yeah. Do you remember RC from Cyberverse?
Yeah.
How she's orange now instead of pink.
Yeah.
Mr. White says the tan orange makes the gray pop. I thought that said poo. Makes the gray pop in a strange way. Like a sexual way, Mr. White? Is that what you mean? You sick freak. Big D could have stepped in and said, Mr. White wouldn't mean something so heinous, Andy. He's like, nope, not going to get involved. Not going to take that bullet for him.
I don't judge.
Wise. Mr. White says, Grey doesn't normally pop. That's true. Not usually. Not usually.
I mean, it helps with the grey plastic they've used has a slightly metallic, almost pearlescent sheen to it under the light.
Yes, it's not like flat Hasbro grey.
Mm.
It feels like there's actually color in it. I would agree with that. Hey, I've got the picture of the Grimlock figure that you were talking about earlier, the Fall of Cybertron one.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't look too bad. It looks nice. Again, I think this was made later.
Yeah, it was really late in the Adventures lineup.
Yeah, so it might have better QC than the original figure, maybe. It's a solid version of him. Mr. White says, but I noted D didn't defend my honor. Oh, it will be noted in the big book of Adam grudges.
Oh no, we were recording later this week, so that could be a fun recording. Yeah.
So what happens is there's a cut to Mr. White, and there's just white text above his head that says Mr. White will remember this. A la adventure games. Next we have another pretty decent figure who came later in the line. It's Jazz, Mr. Jazzy Boy Jenkins. A negative is he's incredibly wide. He's very, very wide. You can probably tell. He
does feel like he's mostly shouldered, doesn't he?
Yes. Yeah, and that's obviously because, like his shoulders, you fold them inwards to form the front of the car, which is quite a nice process.
Yeah.
Again, he's got the standard kind of articulation you would expect. The mold is pretty solid and fun, but unfortunately, what do you think is his negative, Mr. Big D?
Ooh, would it be?
Mm-hmm.
So there's no waist swivel that I can see.
No,
he could have. Would it be his shoulders, by any chance?
No, he's got no fucking paint on him. He's
oh yeah,
he feels very devoid of paint. He does have paint on him more than like the Grimlock we were talking about, but
it does rather highlight how lacking he is overall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have closed the stupid page. I will find the image of the Japanese Jazz. And you might be surprised that it's much, much better again. Where is it? I can't see. My eyes, they do not work. Jazz.
This almost feels unfair that we're...
It's always worth mentioning. Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Jazz.
It just feels kind of unfair that we're comparing... But it's not that we're comparing. It's for each one of these has had a version that looks so much nicer than the American version.
Yeah, okay. I finally fucking got it. So you can see just how much more paint there is on this, and especially the vehicle mode. I'll wait for the stream to catch up so Big D will see it.
Yeah.
Do you see how much more paint he has?
Oh my lord, that's so much nicer.
A lot nicer. Even the robot mode has more on him to, again, make him pop a lot more, to make him feel a lot closer. He comes with a lance, which is kind of odd. A non-easy weapon. I don't think lances are desperately easy weapons to mold for toys, right? Because a lot of the time you can't hold them in the right way that you'd use a lance, which is for thrusting.
Yeah, so I mean, at least this one does have two grips molded in. One of them, you do have to push it into his palm.
Yes, he doesn't actually... The lens doesn't come apart. You do have to force it into the joint, so it's not as secure as you'd like it to be.
But at least there are options. It's just a bit of a shame, mainly that it's just solid grey plastic.
Well, white. Solid white plastic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's better, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have preferred him with nunchucks, like
animated jazz.
Animated jazz. I think that would have been kind of nice as well. But again, it's when you paint this figure up, he looks really good. The base mold is again a nice, solid, pretty fun Transformer. I didn't think he was Wave 3 though. I was sure he wasn't Wave 3, but he came out really early, and I think he came out really late in the show.
Yeah.
really late. So I don't know whether they made this figure and it did well and then went, oh, better put him in, or if Wave 3 just happened to have Jazz in the mold and they went, whatever, it's okay. We'll just pump out the toy now. I don't know. But again, you can get an ass ton of stickers from this from repro labels. I only have the American version because I wasn't willing to. I don't think I could find the Japanese version at the time.
No, I think it was. Again, so many of these were a bit of a pain to find with Takara versions, just because that was when Takara had kind of exploded in popularity and amongst collectors.
Yes.
Everyone knew that if you wanted the best version, go to Takara.
And you have to remember as well, we always had to pay import charges. That's right, America. Yep. You're getting what we always had to do when we got stuff from Japan. We had to pay import fees.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of import fees. So now you can suck a titty now too. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
But at least now, if you're careful, you can find ways around it.
You can. If you're
in the UK at least.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we don't really do imports now from Japan, I don't think, unless it gets to a certain price point.
It's between £20 and £125.
See, when I bought stuff from Japan, I've not been, since that kind of thing happened, I haven't been hit once from it. And yet before that happened, I was getting hit for every single thing I was getting from Japan. Every single thing was getting hit.
I mean, what I found, because I tend mostly to ship using FedEx now. Just because
I went cheapest. Always went cheapest.
I just find that spending that little bit more to get it here quicker balances out having to wait like a month or two for it to arrive.
Oh, it doesn't for me. I'm happy to wait. I wanted to keep it as low cost as possible. Otherwise, I may as well just get the American version.
But also FedEx do all the paperwork, and I don't have to worry about if there is any duty, they'll just ping me for it. Where if I ship it normally, Royal Mail will charge me to come out and pay for it.
It might get higher for you because you usually ship in big bulks, but for the ones that I've done, like I say, since it's changed, it's never hit me.
If you're only shipping like one or two figures, but I'm normally
you're always doing a lot more.
I'm riding the edge.
Yeah, exactly.
For that shipping balance of. And what was it? I've got a lot of stuff in my Hobbling Japan basket in my warehouse at the moment. I've got the 40th Leo Prime redeco.
Oh, you've got that? Okay.
Yeah, the first two of the Constructicons.
Oh yeah, you still haven't got them yet. Jesus.
And a few Gunpla. That's going to be my next shipment.
Yeah, that's a big box.
It is. What I haven't put in that comes to 120 in value. But then I also have the longer haul but is it long haul and Bone Crusher? The double pack of Constructicons and a few other Gunpla to ship at some point.
Yeah.
But that's one I need to be careful because that's a reasonably expensive set in its own right. That pushes the values a bit more. So riding the line.
Yeah, man. Exel Head says, such a shame the best RID Grimlock is a Fall of Cybertron remold. He would be a little bit more in scale as well. He might be a little bit too big, though, I suppose. I don't know. Exel Hedge also says, I also think Grimlock was green as a callback to Build Team Grimlock. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably a nice kind of extra bit. Mr. White says, his face could be taken from Space King. Does he?
Oh, Jazz's, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Because of the way it looks like he's just a giant screaming mouth.
Oh, yeah. If you don't look at the detail. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I get it. Are you watching Space King Big D? Or do you not watch it?
I don't watch it. I'm aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
I see memes turn up on some of my feeds from time to time. I probably should dip it. Oh, excuse me.
Time for bed for Big D.
I do apologise. I should probably dip into it at some point, given it seems
it's only 3 episodes.
Yeah. I'll give it a whirl.
I like it. It's fun. And Exel says, at least the US is finally getting metal card bots and Microforce. That sounds familiar, metal card bots, but I don't remember it offhand. But that's
they're the South Korean thing, aren't they?
Is that it? Oh, that's probably it. That would make sense. Yeah, we're not getting that. as far as I know.
No, I've seen them come up on AliExpress and stuff from time to time.
Yeah, it's expensive there as well, though, aren't they? How much?
Depends where you look.
How much?
Oh, I can't remember metal card bots, but I know that there's some stuff I've gone. Oh, I've seen it one price somewhere else, and then found it on Ali for suspiciously cheap, you might say.
Like to the point where you don't believe them, kind of thing.
A little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Optimus Prime mold, which has been used many times over. This one that we've got on TFU is the... What one is it? It's the Power Surge Optimus Prime, which was a remold of the original mold. So it is the original mold, but it's also got extra fleebly bits on it. So he's got a shoulder cannons, he's got the swords, and the standard axe. I have the standard Optimus Prime. I don't have the Power Surge one. The standard Optimus Prime mold is a bit on the strange side. I mean, you can, even in the photos here, you can see he has kind of a weird, like almost hunched look. The front of his car mode, the front of the cab of the truck mode as well, kind of swings underneath the wrists. So again, it looks a bit weird. And the way that the elbow joints are connected into the forearms, they're also not like directly down. The way that they're posed here, they're at a slight bent angle. So proportionally, there are just bits that are a little bit odd here and there. Odd. Not bad, just a bit on the...
Odd, yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those figures where I post it as, it's okay. It's not one of the best ones.
Yeah.
But it's fine, you know? The truck mode, though, is not great, as you can see.
Yes, he's just laid down for a bit.
He's gone to sleepy mode, and he's put his little he's put his hood over his head, pretty much. You get a pretty good idea of how this works. Like, you just kind of peg the legs together and split the legs, not entirely in half, but like a third, and you flip that third kind of up to kind of cover most of the body parts as well. The swords do a lot of heavy lifting as well, because they're kind of covering the top of the Prime as well. And then they've got the quote-unquote attack mode where you stick the swords and the guns on his back. And it's kind of a nice overall look, I'd say.
Yeah, I dig the attack mode. That's kind of fun.
And if we look at the standard version, is this the Japanese one? I don't think they show the Japanese one. I'm not sure if there is a huge difference, but there is the standard Optimus Prime. You can see again that it's just fine. It's just kind of okay. It's not great. The front of the car modes here, if you look at this website, shows how much of the front of the truck mode does kind of cover up the hands, which is a little bit, it's a bit of a shame. But they get the overall look and the shape done, and again, articulation is perfectly fine. And the axe is nice. Yeah, Optimus Prime standard axe.
Yeah.
What do you think, Big D?
I think I might have fallen in love with the Nemesis Prime deco of this, to be honest. I've just been looking at the other decos out there, and
which one's the Nemesis Prime one?
Doesn't have the wings or the blasters, just the axe, but
there's one on here.
In glossy black.
That's right. Why doesn't it show the Adventures one on the other side? It doesn't show the Adventures one. That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh no, there it does. You have to. There's a little special link for it. Yeah, there's two versions of Nemesis Prime. Believe it or not.
Oh god.
There's the TAV13 and there's the TAV56. One's the Power Surge version and one's the normal version. So the one that you're looking at on the website is the standard version. But then the 56 is, what if we do the Power Surge version with the wings and the extra backpack? And we'll do that. That one looks really cool as well. Obviously, it's not just that. It does have the remolded chest area as well. But they've not posed the wings in the wing position here desperately well. But yeah, again, I'm pretty sure I looked at the Nemesis version of this toy. Because yes, it does look very good. But I don't think I saw it. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Has any Nemesis Prime deco ever really not hit?
Oh God. There has to be one. Logically, there has to be one, right?
There has to be, but somehow just applying black, teal, a silver or grey, and red to Optimus Prime works so well.
It's just a good color scheme. You slap that on most things, it'll look good. You know?
Yeah, I mean, hell, for a giggle, you know that KO Nemesis Prime of the Studio Series Prime I picked up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had the DNA upgrade kit for Studio Series come through,
Oh yeah.
so I thought I'd put the Megatron arm on Nemesis Prime. That works shockingly well because it helps. It's almost exactly the same shade of grey as the grey they've used on this Nemesis Prime deco.
Oh, that's cool. That's neat.
Works shockingly well. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
XL Head says this Prime upset me so much. Why? XL Head says none
Oh,
of his toys scale. None of his toys scale. With the rest of well with the Prime toy line figures. Yeah, scale's not an issue for me. I don't really care about scale, to be honest. I just wanted a complete set of all his primary bodies for the Prime timeline. So is it mainly a scale issue? Because I don't. Again, like I say, scale's not an issue for me. And this was the better version. I don't think any of the bigger primes were any good, but there was also a Optimus Prime from Clash of Transformers, which was more black and red, but then with a blue head. Oddly enough, you know, the blue helmet, which is the usual style. I don't know why they only changed, and they didn't paint the axe for some reason, so kind of half-assed it there. There's the Blizzard Arctic Camo Optimus Prime. He's got extra detailing on his legs and forearms, but then nothing on the side of his truck mode. So this would go, I guess, okay next to Drift, the Arctic Attack Drift. I mean, what do you think of this one? Do you like this one?
That's fine.
You like the Drift?
I did. This is, I mean, alongside Drift, that would actually probably look really nice. Scale, of course, is an issue, but you just have to live with that if you're buying into this line, unfortunately.
One thing I'll say that I do like about this, which I forgot to say, all of the 10 wheels on this toy all rotate. They're all individual wheels, which is quite nice. None of them are like fake wheels.
That's a refreshing novelty, to be fair.
Yeah, and granted, that's not obviously a huge thing or anything like that. But to have a figure like this size with 10 wheels, it's kind of like, that's unusual.
Yeah, that's refreshing.
And then there's the powered version. And there's two Power Surge versions. There's the Power Surge version, which we saw on the website, and there's the better version of the Power Surge version, which came out later for Clash of the Transformers, where they've changed bits of him to white. So he's white, red, and blue. And I think the white helps make it look a little bit special. Also, the weapons and the backpack are in translucent plastic blue as well. So that, again, has a bit more pop to it.
That's nifty. I dig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks like a powered up version. The previous version, I don't know.
Not so much.
No, I don't like it as much. I think you give him the extra white and whatnot, and it kind of looks more interesting to me, you know?
Not
as good as Nemesis, obviously. It's not as good as the Nemesis one at all, but this is...
No.
I'd like this one. These ones came out much later in the line, so this wave, I think, was like Soundwave and Twinferno and Sky Cloud or something like that, those ones. So I think that's why it's harder to find. But that's Optimus Prime. If you can get Nemesis, give him to me. I'd like him. One of the main figures that I don't have and haven't fiddled with is Quillfire. One of the few weird Decepticon animal dudes you get. You don't get a lot of them here, which is one of the downsides to this line.
Yeah, bit of a shame, that.
Yeah, they kind of skipped out on a lot of Decepticons. But Quillfire looked interesting at the very least. His repaint was into... Oh, I've clicked off the link. So, haha, joke's on me, I suppose. I will find it again. But you can give me your thoughts at the moment, Big D, on what you think of.
He's a fun-looking chunky. He's a fun-looking chunky lad.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Oh, he turns into Scatter Spike, which is the same mold, but maroon and purple. So I'll let you catch up, and then you can say what you prefer. I think I like this one a bit more. because the other one is tan, mostly just tan and brown, and that's fine. I don't know. Which one do you prefer, Big D?
I think I'm with you on that redeco, the scatter spike. That just it feels more cohesive.
I think so. It looks like a negative about this figure is it looks like he has a big butt flap. You can see better on the scatter spike image. It looks like the back of the car mode mostly just hangs off his ass.
Yeah, you can always sort of logic that away as being like supposed to be a tail or something.
I think literally that's what they're going for because he's like an animal former. But I don't think it's a great excuse to just have it back there.
No,
I guess I get it. It's like part of the design, but it just looks weird and awkward. Like they haven't really done anything to make it into a tail. It's just like it's just hanging there, you know.
Otherwise, though, it looks nice and posable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he does anything more or less. Maybe less because I don't think the head. Looking at it, it doesn't look like the head's going to twist, but it does look like it has a moving mouth.
Yeah,
and it looks like maybe the shoulders are awkward. You know, when they kind of bend up, they've got the kind of Rodimus Prime shoulders kind of deal.
I'll say it's also a really nice looking vehicle mode.
Yeah, it's just a very kind of SUV animated swindle kind of look.
Yeah,
not exactly the same. Maybe even Bulkhead from Prime kind of styled.
Actually, yeah. That looks a hell lot like Bulkhead's Prime alt mode.
Yeah, kind of like it. It's close enough where you go, if this was green, you go,
Yeah.
I kind of have an idea of what this was. Excel Hedge says, Quillfire had one of the best gimmicks in the show, essentially drugging other bots. Would love to see another take on him in the future. Oh, another take on him in the future. So basically, you want a guy who gets people hooked on heroin in a kid's show. It's interesting. What do you think about that, Big
D? That's going to be a fun one to try and get past sensors.
Can you imagine him just running up to Autobots and sticking him with like dirty needles?
I've got you now, Autobot.
Now you got hepatitis. Enjoy. Oh, thanks. That's annoying. Yeah, I can't talk too much about Quillfire. One thing I do know that's difficult about Quillfire is you can get him sometimes with his gun, but he does come with a quill piece, and most of the time I've seen that piece is missing.
Yeah, I do like that it's a quill, and it's like, well, where does it go?
I think it goes in his ass in the tail part. I assume because we don't see it in the robot mode, so maybe.
And also explains why it always goes missing.
Yeah, probably. Next up, we have Scorponok, who's a really cool figure. I like Scorponok a lot. However, the Japanese version, which I do have, is way better. Way better.
Okay. I was going to say, this one does look nice and fun and a bit different, to be fair, in terms of just aesthetic. Quite nice and quite lanky, which is quite novel for a bug former, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And the Scorpion mode is actually pretty nice as well, in fairness.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Takara one, it's almost unfair.
It is. Like standard Scorponok is grey, an orangey brown, and a darker brown, and a few different shades grey. It's like, it's fine. It's okay. It's not very exciting, but it's okay. The Japanese.
He's basically almost exactly the same colours as Quillfire.
Kind of, yeah. He's less brown, and like the orange is more similar, obviously, oddly enough, to the gold on the Grimlock that we talked about earlier.
True.
But it's still in that kind of side of the color wheel kind of thing. And then the Japanese version goes, well, what if we have the dark brown, but we have more of a gold color and then a green color as well, and then a few bits of kind of gray plastic as well. It just knocks it out of the park. It looks really interesting. So, in terms of the figure, it's a really fun figure and kind of interesting because you can give him the chicken leg kind of look, but you don't have to. You can straighten them out, and he's incredibly tall when you do. He feels more secure when you have him chicken legged mode, obviously.
I was going to say the chicken leg looks a lot more stable, though. I imagine.
Yes, because he does have like his tail hanging off his back because he's a scorpion, and he does have the legs kind of hanging off his back. So having the chicken legs kind of helps the center of gravity a bit more. No waist swivel, obviously, because he has a scorpion effectively on his back. The interesting thing, and it's not a great part of the figure, but it's definitely interesting. The claws. So the claws for the scorpion mode.
I was wondering about those because
they're interesting, but they're not great at the same time. So, how to describe this? The way that you transform them from Scorpion mode is you split them down. You can see there's a seam down the center of them. You split them open, right?
Yeah.
You then wriggle them up his arm to his shoulder, and then you close them around each other.
I got it. Yep.
So, although it's interesting, and it's not technically parts forming, it feels awkward enough to be parts forming.
Does it feel like it might have been a better option if it had been parts forming?
Maybe. Because don't get me wrong, like you peg them into his chest and they are secure. They don't wobble around when they're on his shoulders or where the shoulder joint is. But it's that process of like sliding them up and sliding them down doesn't feel natural. It just feels odd. It feels like you've broken something and it's wriggling around.
I can understand that. I'll give them credit though. That's a really novel approach to how to do this.
Yeah, it's different. You never would think to do that. To slide them up like weird shoulder pads, but
possibly a good reason. But I dig that. That's fun. That's cute. I dig it.
Especially for the line. This is one of the more kind of, I guess, innovative kind of things. It's probably a budget helping thing as well, I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But a negative I will throw out for the shoulders is I don't like the actual pincers. I think they are very lame pincers.
Yeah, they're not particularly menacing.
They look more like boxing gloves, and then if you get like a
little bit
a nipper at the end for like modeling, they look more like modeling nippers than like claws.
Yeah,
you know?
they do.
You know, it's kind of a. He does have a little moving scorpion mouth as well, which is quite nice. And then the tail doesn't do a huge amount, and the sword pegs in at a weird place. So you peg the sword in the top of the stinger gland.
Yeah, it's doubly weird when you realise that he actually does have a stinger sculpted into the head of the tail. So
that's why I say it's in a weird position.
Yeah.
Because the stinger's quite small, but it's like, okay, fine, doesn't matter. I don't mind that. But then sticking the sword right in the top, like you'd expect, I don't know. I think logically you put the sword in where the stinger would be, right? So it would make the faux stinger.
Yeah, or underneath, underneath the stinger, something like that.
Yeah,
or
to extend the stinger or something. Yeah, something. But peg it in a completely different area is very weird. It feels odd. It's not bad. Yeah. It's just you look at it and you're like, okay, all right. Obviously, it could do with a bit more articulation, but for the scale, it's got a ball joint at the base. And it's either a hinge or it's a ball joint for the stinger gland, but I'm not sure which. I can't remember offhand. But again, this is one of my favorite figures because it's just one. I have all three versions of this mold because I like the mold, and I thought all three versions were neat in their own right. And I thought they look like a neat little Insecticon team all kind of together.
Yeah.
If you can only get the standard American one, he's still good. He's just got the problem with the American version is the problem with Fracture. He's got background character energy.
Yes.
In terms of the style.
Whereas Vistek over Takara one
he's a main character.
Yeah.
You put this one in the camera's face because it's really interesting. I was quite lucky because I got a lot of my RID stuff from a dude who listens to the show. And
nice.
he was just like, I don't want these. And I was like, I'll buy them. I'll buy them all. And I bought them in pieces so I could, afford it. So there's also the other remold, which is Paralon, I think he's called. Which is... He's a weird one because, again, his color scheme's not desperately interesting. They've just kind of changed the brown to purple. But then they've also given him a brand new head, kind of like Grimlock. And the new head mold is very kind of head noddy, I would say, towards Beast Wars Scorponok.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I saw that and I immediately thought, that's Beast Wars Scorponok's head.
Yeah, it's obviously Beast Wars Scorponok. And
that's cute.
Yeah, so it's pretty decent, I'd say. Again, I wish the color scheme was more interesting. It's not. But he's got the new head, so it does make him different. He is perp. It's like with a lot of these figures, you just wish that they'd Japanese them up basically and give them a way more interesting poppy color scheme. I'm sure the color schemes are less interesting as well because, like I said earlier in the show, for the Autobots, it's easier for kids to distinguish. Oh, he's the purple Scorpion. Oh, he's the brown Scorpion. Oh, he's the purple bike. Oh, he's the red car. Stuff like that. So, mommy, I want the yellow car. It's like, okay, so that's Bumblebee. I want the purple Scorpion, etc., etc. But
I will say though, I do like, although it is a limited palette they've gone for, I do like how on Paralon the colors all look nice and crisp.
Yeah. In good spots. They did a good job plopping them down. Do you think he looks nicer than Scorponok? Because I think color scheme-wise, I think he works a little bit better, maybe, than Scorponok.
I think he does. I mean, the sheer volume of purple in all its shades is a little overpowering.
Yes.
It gives him... It basically doubles the goon factor.
Yeah.
Whereas regular Scorponok, at least... looks like he could be henchman number 2.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
Paralon's part of the mob. There's gonna be like 5 of him in the background somewhere, whereas Scorponok there might be 1 of him and maybe 2, and then the Takara Deco is the one in front.
Yes. I actually prefer the head sculpt for Scorponok as well. I like that look. The Paralon one isn't bad. I just think this. I don't know what exactly about it. It's the weird shape. I think I like more than the standard robot face. But I appreciate the reference.
I think it's how the head sits as well, because it's kind of hunched forward.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
And the standard head sculpt fits that better than
like a normal robot, right?
Yeah. Whereas this one, the Paralon head just. If it was sat higher, it might work better, but it does look odd.
Yeah,
where it's situated.
I like I said, I like this figure a lot. If you're interested, I'd say you should pick it up. Though you'll probably find the shoulders weird, because I find the shoulders weird. It's the worst part of the figure. You can get past it. I really like the legs. They're incredibly thin. I'm actually shocked that they don't. I haven't seen any broken legs, to be honest. Because they are very, very skinny legs compared to, like, I'm looking at my desk. None of my Transformers on my desk at the moment have legs as thin as this guy. They're very thin. Very, very thin. XL Head says, but Andy, that's the thing. He doesn't get past the sensor. Oh no. So I guess that's why he can keep doing his drugging. Oh no. No. All right, next up we have one that I thought was going to be better than he was, but wasn't, and it's Sideswipe. Now, Sideswipe looks like he's a pretty solid figure, right?
He does.
So the issue with Sideswipe is how his arms and chest all come together. For some reason, the chest is in 2 pieces and holds the arms together. Like, you see the black bits next to the shoulders?
Yes.
They peg into the back and the front of the chest and the back piece.
Okay.
They don't. It feels like a very... I wish I could find an image of the transformation. Because when you open up the chest, you'd be like, that seems more complex than it should be, or more fiddly than it should be.
It sounds more fiddly than it should be.
Yeah, and it's just because, like, the wheels... I think... How did the wheels transfer? I can't remember exactly how it goes, but obviously the wheels disconnect from the chest. You would have thought that they wouldn't, that they just sit there, but they don't. They come away. I think they move forward. Yeah, I think if you look at the back of the figure, you can see like the front bumper of the car. I think that goes
Yeah.
over his head, and I think the wheels kind of move either upwards or to the side or something to kind of catch up to that bumper,
Okay.
if I remember
That's
correctly.
interesting.
I think I remember the legs are a bit more interesting because the sides spin around, so they kind of
And his
twist
arms.
180.
I'm just looking at how his bicep attaches to his shoulder.
It's not an issue. There's no issue there.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just, as far as I remember,
Hmm.
as far as I remember, it's not an issue. The arms don't fall off. I think it's just there to incorporate the wheels spin.
Okay.
They're not
'cause
on
that
little
just-
hooks because it looks like they're just hooked on the inside, doesn't it?
they do, or they're plugged into the inside of the wheel somehow. and
Yes.
that-
No, if I remember correctly, it's more like, I think it's a joint that comes out of the axle that goes into the wheel. So the wheel pegs onto this
Okay.
axle, and then attached to that same
Okay.
axle, I think it goes out and then down and then to the arm.
Okay.
I think.
That's-
Like I say, it's been a while since I've finagled with him, and he's in a box somewhere, but I think that's how it
That-
goes.
That sounds both interesting and way more complex than this scale of figure needed.
Yes. I
Given-
think
Given how the rest of the line has matched up so far.
if I remember, I think this was my least favorite figure of the line. I think. I can't remember one that I liked less than this guy. And I think it was because of how awkward it was, or slightly fiddly or faffy for a figure of
Yeah.
this line where everything's fairly quick and not really complex, and everything just kind of works and you can quickly smash it together. But this one has this
Yeah.
weird chest issue. And it's a shame because the car mode's quite nice. It's a nice looking car
Yeah.
mode. And even in, for some reason, they do have the translucent window screen. You can see that there's not much there to be seen. It looks fairly
Yeah.
clean for the most part.
Refreshingly, they've not tried to hide most of the robot mode in underneath the front windscreen.
Yeah, it's odd. He does come with a nice big sword, which I think rivals Smokescreen's quite a bit. I think he's got a much bigger sword.
Yeah.
He does have some weird, very, very long, creepy, touchy salad fingers hands as well.
Yeah, I was looking at those thinking, oh.
I think they're a bit more in the style of Fracture's. Fracture's hands, I think, are a little bit
Yeah.
more like that than some of the other ones
Yeah.
that we've seen. But Sideswipe was not one of my favored ones. Do we have... Where's Sideswipe? He came in wave 3. There he is. Where are your warrior figures? Warrior figures. You'd be surprised once again, Big D, to know that the Japanese version has more paint on it. I know.
Hold on, let me contain my surprise.
I know.
Carry on.
He actually has some Japanese text on him as well, which is quite nice to make it
Yeah,
pop a
that's-
bit more.
Interesting. He seems to be one of the few that doesn't have that scanning logo on his chest.
Yeah, it's got it on the front of the car, which is,
Yeah.
if it's anywhere, I'd rather it be on the vehicle mode, not obstructing the figure. I assume it's not on his chest because where they had the Autobot insignia in the show just clearly wasn't big enough for
Yeah.
that thing to go.
Yeah.
And they didn't compromise the figure for whatever reason. Probably as well because, like I say, that chest kind of transforms in a very odd way, which you wouldn't expect. XL Head says, I don't understand why Sideswipe was the one bot besides Optimus Prime and B to cross into Rescue Bots. They did kind of push him as a big main character, so he's the young rebellious type. He's like the Bumblebee Hot Rod kind of character, but really fucking annoying. So I'm guessing that's the reason, to be honest.
Wait, I thought it was Smokescreen who was in Prime, and Sideswipe was a new character for RID.
I'll read the thing again. I still don't understand. Sideswipe was the one bot besides Optimus and Bumblebee to cross over into Rescue Bots.
Oh,
So-
Rescue. Sorry,
No,
Brian
that's
did
fine.
a point there.
I needed to repeat it in case I had said something incorrectly.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
wasn't
that's
sure.
me mishearing. I do apologize.
No, that's fine. I can't remember. If you look at the side, the image I've got on screen of the standard Sideswipe, I can't remember what the bits on the side of his head are from. They're clearly part of the car, but I don't remember what part of the car they are. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I think that was probably another awkward part about the figure, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
I'm Brian. That's feet is the back end of the car, but I generally don't know unless it. That's so weird. I can't tell from unless it's the fairings on either side of the front fairings.
Is that like where the headlights are? Yeah, it's probably that actually.
Yeah.
I think it's the headlights.
Yeah, because I think they must rotate in somehow.
Yeah. If you look at this image as well, you can see the shoulders. Do you see the black bit going down the outside of the chest?
Yes.
Those are arms that connect to the shoulders. That's one of the awkward. That's what I remember being one of the awkward parts about the whole arm assembly. These black arms connected to the shoulders, which you then have to peg into this chest piece that is a couple of parts. Like again, it's just it's the example of it's fiddly for no reason.
It seems needlessly fiddly because.
Maybe I'm just anal, but it's obviously it's easy if you watch. If you go on YouTube, there's lots of resources. Go on YouTube, watch a transformation video or a general review on this figure. Hopefully, you'll see what I mean about the chest, and hopefully, I'm not losing my old man mind and going crazy. Which could be the case.
Now I've seen it from a different angle. I can understand where you're coming from and realizing how those two front fairings of now how they've wound up inside the torso. It's like. Did they have to make this one character so needlessly complicated at this scale compared to everyone else?
I reckon you could. I wonder if it's just needed more money. If more money would have made him less complex or less fiddly. Also, I've put up the image of the repaint, the exclusive Clash version, which is not a bad color scheme, and you can see that it's not a huge deal, but his feet float. Like they're not connected to the shins. Yeah. So that's always a thing that's a bit of a shame when the feet kind of are floating or the legs are floating above the feet. You know? What do you think of the repaint though? Do you like the repaint?
It's an interesting repaint.
Yeah, I think silver.
I do.
I don't like the light blue and the red. I think they should have stuck with red as like the highlight color.
Yes, but one or t'other.
Yeah, I understand why, because Bumblebee obviously had this light blue for his powered up thing, and I'm pretty sure Strong Arm did as well. The big blue bit on the front of the car with the red stripe looks a bit weird to me.
I will say I do prefer this one in terms of how the paint's gone onto the head, because the head of the standard version, it felt a bit. Because it's basically red plastic with the paint over the top, a lot of the detail feels washed out. Whereas this one, because I think it's silver plastic that they painted over with blue and quite a nice dark red. That's helped a lot of that detail come out.
Not a big fan of the red blob on top of the blue for his hair, like it's a little dyed tips. That's a bit weird.
The old frosted tips.
Yeah, that looks. It's like he's been blobbed into paint.
Yes, there's a bit of that, but at least they put something up there, you know.
Yes, I agree. And it's interesting.
And it's actually quite nice coverage as well. So.
Yeah, my least favorite figure, and it's hard to explain without a video to explain it in person.
Honestly, you've done a good job explaining it, mate. Because looking at it, I would not have. Just from the pictures, I wouldn't have caught a lot of those things you've pointed out. But now you've run me through steps, but actually, it all makes sense.
That was the annoying thing about the figure, because I looked at the figure and I thought, that looks like a fairly decent figure. It looks fairly comprehensive. And then I got it and like, what is this? What's happening? Why is it like this? It's so weird. Bizarre little figure.
Really is.
And next up, or last up for this week, because we are splitting it, is a figure that's not bad. There are aspects that I really dislike, but then he's an interesting little guy. Oh, what a little guy he is. It's Steeljaw, the main antagonist for most of season 1. So I'll mention the aspects which I really fucking hate. It's how his arms transform. So his arms transform by, if you look at his forearms, there is a gigantic hole in the top of his forearms, right?
Yes.
That's to facilitate the fact that his arms are on rails. So you basically grab his forearm and you push them upwards into the bicep.
Gotcha.
And it's not a desperately nice feeling, obviously, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. It's quite stiff. It's quite awkward.
Rails are always a bit of a.
Yeah, you can do them, but I wish there were better solutions. His feet are kind of interesting as well. It's not very obvious here, but he has he doesn't have chicken feet or chicken legs, but he has chicken feet. So that kind of aesthetic, that kind of idea is in the feet. And if you look at the feet in the photo, they're not flat to the ground completely. At least a bit of them are. The inside of the foot, I'd say 60%.
There's a molded angle, isn't it?
Yeah, 60% inside of the foot is flat on the ground, and then the last 40% is going up at a slight angle. Not a massive angle, but enough to be like, why isn't the foot flush with the ground? No matter what I do, why isn't the foot flush with the ground? And it's just because it can never be flush with the ground. And it's a weird choice, and I get why it's there, because they're trying to make him an animal. And it's
it just feels weird.
Yeah, here's a better, like this photo here on the side when it pops up for you is a better example of how you can see it's slightly weird. Do you see it?
Yep.
The foot's at this, it's not quite flat. The legs at this slightly weird angle. Yeah, you can also see the rail of the inside of the arm as well, which looks really lame.
That forearms, that biceps really thin as well.
It's thin and it's on a rail, and could it snap? Maybe. I don't know. But again, I like the head sculpt. I think that's quite nice. If you look at the chest of the robot mode, you can see that the side of his titties kind of splits down because that's part of the transformation. So it's quite nice how that kind of forms upwards to kind of increase the size of his chest. That's kind of cool. I think he has a bit of a backpack, unfortunately, where you can see like the back wheels, so the front wheel. No, they're the front wheels. They're kind of hanging off the back of his car mode. So again, he's interesting, but he's on the lower scale of good, I think, just because again, it's weird.
Looks it, yeah.
Yeah, he's not as weird or bizarre as Sideswipe. I'd take this over Sideswipe 100-fold. But it's just slightly not there in terms of like fun factor for playing. He's got an interesting weapon, which is like Wolverine claws. But what if Wolverine held his claws like he was holding a gun
and only had one set?
That's one of the really fucking annoying parts, because he clearly should have two. Should have two, and he's got one. If I remember, the forearms that cover the hole in the actual forearms, I don't think they peg in. I think you just kind of flip them up, and they're just kind of held there by friction. There's nothing to actually hold them in.
That's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, you'd hope that at the very least, even though it doesn't cover the whole hole, which is annoying in its own right, you'd like it just to click in, a good solid.
Is it fair to say that he's a bit like Sideswipe, and it feels like he needed a little bit more time to cook, a little more budget?
Something like that. Maybe he needed like Sideswipe, maybe they just needed more money and the Voyager price point.
But fair play to them they've tried.
It's one of those things where they're fucked, because it's like, well, you've got to do this figure, which is not the easiest thing to do, and we're giving you no money, and you go, oh, cool. Okay, thanks. I like the vehicle mode. I think that's pretty nice. It's an interesting little thing.
I mean, I must confess, as a Space Wolf player, I'm conflicted, because he's in Space Wolf Grey, and his car mode looks like a wolf's head.
He's definitely more blue than grey. He's like some of the aspect. Well, what color is he?
I mean, going off the picture on TFU, he's got quite a lot of that Space Wolf grey to my mind.
Yeah,
A
well,
people grey.
the kind of blue, yeah, you know how Space Wolves are fucking painted. It's
Yeah.
from blue to actually grey. So
Yes.
he falls into that range of he's kind of
Mm.
blue, but kind of not as well. Yeah, can I get a photo of the Japanese version of him? Should be able to. Yeah, I don't know if the Japanese one is massively different. I think, if anything, if this is true to form, it's just grayer. Way more Wolf Grey.
That is a really nice head sculpt, though. The more I look at the head sculpt, it's more like, that's real nice.
Yeah, the head sculpt's good on him. I think this is a better. If this is true, then yeah, this is a better color scheme. You also did get another version of the figure as well, which I did have up just a second ago, but I clicked off of it. Where is it?
I think that more desaturated solid grey is doing it more favors than the blue grey, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, there it is. He got done into Phantom Jaw, which was part of the 3-pack, which is a very weird but kind of cool color scheme. He's done into a police car, and the claws used as the siren part of the vehicle mode, which is funny.
Oh, that's funky.
It's a neat idea. It kind of works. And then his vehicle mode, robot mode introduces purple and teal. So he's white, black, purple, and teal. So it's a weird color scheme that you think shouldn't work, but kind of.
But it does.
Kind of does.
That really does work. I think I might actually like this color scheme most out of the 3. To be fair.
You know why? He's not a background color scheme.
Yes.
He's like the Japanese Scorponok. He's got enough color to be like, that's really interesting. I like the look of that. I think I don't think this color scheme would look good for a TV character color scheme because it's a bit too weird, right?
I suspect it would probably give animators a hernia trying to get it.
Well, even with 3D models, it would just. I don't think it would look good on camera. It would look weird. Like there are some like Energon figures that looked weird as well when they were like done.
Yeah, I can agree with that point. Yeah,
I just wish this was on a better figure. I wish it was a better mold. Like I say, it's not terrible. It's just, again, there are aspects to it where you're like, it's just not quite there. There's just a little bit here and there which you're like, I wish it was tighter.
This is one of those things where, with the current era of the Generations line, I'd love to see them return to some of stuff like RID and pick a few guys like Steeljaw, the characters who actually did have regular appearances, and pull them out and give them the Generations treatment.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I think the issue is, I mean, we've seen what they've done to most of the animated figures, which, as I've said many times before, I feel have been undercut and done bad. The Bumblebee figure was oddly good, which I was kind of surprised by because I've got Wasp and he was good. But then you've got like Prime Bulkhead. All of the Prime figures have been absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. The Prime was a bit weird.
But they're not really Prime.
No, and that would be it's weird because like Wasp is the right figure. Like that's correct. But that's that almost feels like an anomaly. I don't know if they'd spend enough money to make something unique like a Steeljaw.
Yeah.
You know? I'd like to see it because he is unique. You know, there's no one who looks like Steeljaw in Transformers. Maybe that's the problem. They wouldn't want to do it because it's too unique of a figure. So it's either do they compromise and have someone who looks weird using the Steeljaw mold, or do they make a police car and just kind of half-ass it into a Steeljaw? You know?
Yeah.
It's the tricky trade of Hasbro.
Isn't it just?
Yeah, but that is all of these figures for this time. I've saved us some really fun, ones I think are really good for next time. Like we're going to be talking about Thermidor and Bisque, who I don't have, who I'd like to get, who's very expensive. We got the Bludgeon mold along with Megatronus, which are very, very good. I think that might be my favorite mold. The Soundwave mold, the Starscream mold. Starscream's mold really good. The Windblade mold, maybe the best Windblade figure.
Oh, this is Twinferno as well, didn't it? Yeah.
Twinferno. Twinferno's not great, but he's He's interesting.
Yeah.
He's interesting. Oh fuck! And we've got Stormshot, who is the best figure of the line. Stormshot's really fucking good, but like I said, we'll get to those figures next time. Not next week, but the week after. But Big D, where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Oh, I am on all the social medias as David Kelly. Look for either this charming image as provided by Mr. Gruff or a picture of Cup. That's what I'm normally disguised as. I am also co-host of Fluff and Busters with Mr. White, which now has its own dedicated YouTube channel.
Yay!
And he's begun uploading those. The first recording went up on Friday, and that was of Dread. So if you fancy an alternative commentary or just listen to two old white guys yammering about nerdy shit whilst watching a movie, there you go. We have plenty more in the backlog. We did Aliens recently.
Oh, yes.
And we're doing Lost Boys this week. That's going to be our Halloween movie.
When are you going to be doing Alien Resurrection?
I'm really tempted to do that. Put it down for this year at some point because, man, Resurrection's a fun film to talk about.
It's way more fun to watch than I'd say a lot of the more modern movies from Aliens.
It was the first Alien movie I saw at the cinema.
Really?
Alien
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I was too young to
see the other ones, yeah.
Well, I hadn't been born yet to go watch Alien. I was 4 when Aliens
You're always
came
using that as an excuse. Oh, I wasn't alive.
I was 6 when Aliens came out. And I was 13, I think, when Alien 3 hit, or 14. So, yeah, Resurrection was first one in fact, I wasn't even old enough to go and see Resurrection, but I snuck in because I was a year too young.
Fucking rebel.
I mean, in fairness, I've been 6 foot since I was like 12.
So you hit your age and you were like, I'm just done. I'm 12. I'm not going to grow anymore. This'll do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our show where we watch a movie, record, and we chat about it. Normally it's something that's related to the world of Warhammer in some way. It's always a good time. We've quite enjoyed doing it. And I'm Mr. Gross' regular sidekick for his Deeper Dive show, where we look into the many articles for Fluff and Hammer and dive as deep as we can.
When was the last one you did, or is Griff just going through the ones that we last recorded with him?
I recorded one with him. We did a session last week, which he's put one up for. I think that was on the Chaos Dwarves.
Oh, very nice.
So that's up on the Fluff and Hammer Patreon. And over on the main Fluff and Hammer website, the second of my articles looking into how GW characters from the fiction have been translated into miniature form has just gone up. I went up yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, I've written part 3 and part 4 is in progress. I've been quite enjoying it, to be fair.
Mr. White says Resurrection was my first Alien film at the Flicks too. Aw.
Yeah.
Maybe you were in the same screen. You just didn't know.
If you came to Swindon to see it, I'm so sorry.
Mr. White specifically went to Swindon. It's like, this is the place for Alien Resurrection. Guaranteed.
I mean, Swindon is... I have heard people suggest that when town planning meetings take place, the first phrase is after bombing runs is finished.
Whee! Is that other places you've been found then, Big D?
Oh, pretty much, yeah.
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube as Decayed Andy, Rotten Flesh of a Human Being. Oh, God. I'm sometimes on the Fluff and Hammer, where Big D mentioned, so that I don't need to do them. We're also on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, Facebook, and Libsyn as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can find us on a Sunday at 9:30 in the evening UK time if you want to join the lovely people in the chat, like everybody here today. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. We're also on the ccbunker.weebly.com. And next week, theoretically, we'll be talking about news. We'll be talking about the new wheelie figure. That was weird to see. That was like, why? Yeah, okay, well, fair enough. A brand new wheelie. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. And well, the only reason why we won't do the news next week is if there's not more to talk about. If there's just wheelie and nothing else. So one hopes there'll be something more.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but again, thank you, Big D, for joining me.
No worries. It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, and we'll catch you next week, everybody.